Hi there and welcome back to Triplicate, and moving on with the mood light. Well, firstly I'm just trying a bit of an experiment which I won't know whether it's worked till I look back at the video, whether putting paper across these LEDs stops them just bleaching out the white on the camera all the time, which doesn't help. Anyway, we got our sensors working, so now we've got to do something with them, and before we do that I thought I would revisit all the moods and see what we can do to sort of inject some change into them depending on what the sensors are doing. Okay, so looked at the video, that doesn't work. The lights shine off the paper, and the paper's all you can see. Never mind. So here we have our list of moods in a little spreadsheet. Well, not actually a spreadsheet, just a table. So I have got some properties, I guess you'd call them, of the moods, and it's all pretty subjective, but there you go. So I've got energy, speed and story. Sort of energy is how much sort of bright in your face it is, speed is how fast it changes, and story is how much sort of difference there is through time. So we have random, and we'll look at each of these in terms: rainbow, waterfall, beach, home fires, woodland, and we want some more because we want to favour certain moods in certain situations as detected by our sensors. So I've got some potential ones here: disco, which will be bright and flashing; ripples, which will be like ripples in water; conversation, which we're going to try and do a sort of those old sort of disco lights which sort of flashed in time in the music and had the sort of three-way filters in them; and rockabye, which is a sort of nighttime very gentle thing; deep pool, will that be any different to ripples? I don't know; and meadow, which is just going to be essentially nice and green and pretty flowers and stuff. We'll get to them anon. So let's look at each of these in turn, and firstly the random. Okay, so we have a defined, so we can say test mood, which tests a single mood, and we go into here, into the main function. So this is what it does depending on what I want the code to do. So there are various testings and test moods. So mood light, mood random tells it to test the random mode. So if we were to fire that up, well, okay, there we are, ready to rock and go. So let's see what that's doing. Okay, so attempt 2 to stop the LEDs bleaching out the camera. This is what they call baking parchment, which is that what they used to call greaseproof paper back in the day. And that's without the lights. Should we try it with the lights as well? Don't know. Maybe without the lights. And actually, just playing with this, if I just pull this away, that is sort of nearer the effect I want to get. So I don't know, tracing paper, frosted glass. Anyway, we're not on with that now. Right, I will take this off for now. So I fired this up and had a look at it, and it sort of seems to be this sort of quite bright bluey greeny quite a lot, and I wasn't happy with it. And I looked at the code, and the code was not doing what I intended. So after a long fight for various reasons, the usual problem, wet hands. The usual problem, half an hour's little code fix turns into 2 days battle. The joys of software. Why do I do it when I don't have to do it for getting paid for it? Anyway, I have a new version which I will program in. Go! Okay. So that's not what I wanted to happen. So here we go, and I did check the code through the way it's working now, and it's now working how I originally envisaged it. But as you can see, it's a lot sort of slower. You have to look at it to actually see the lights changing, which is not a bad effect. Very gentle. But before it was quite a lot more, well, energetic, I suppose. So actually, having spent a lot of time on it, I spent a bit more time on it. Let's grab a piece of paper and see what's going on here. So the way this works and the way some of the others work is the colour is basically on a rainbow. So you have a number between 0 and 1, just to make it easier. So that is red. So a third is green, and 2/3 blue, and if we go back to 1, we're back to red. And the way it was working before, it was always going within this linear version. So if we start here and go to here, it will go through green from that, so that's yellow, that's turquoise, and that's violet. Just don't ask me to spell turquoise. So if we go from here to here, it'll go through green, turquoise, blue and to violet. So I've changed it here, so this is more like a circle. With, say, red here, green here and blue here. So in our example we are going from here, start to end. So in our first example we would go around this way, the long way, but in this way we're going round the short way. So that's why it's more gentle, because anything like that, it's always going the shortest way between 2 points, which gives the least colour change. But of course we can change it so it always goes the longest way. So shall we have a look at that? Okay, so that moves a lot faster, probably looks to be moving even faster than the original. So I am happy with that, and well, I could make it's sort of variable, so some of the LEDs are going fast and some slow, but I think we can get too subtle. So we're just going to make that a switch. It's either short way round mode or fast way round mode. And the other thing we can vary on this, I think, is the speed that it goes. So I will now have a look into that. And let's see if we can experiment with that. Okay, so I've used a little equation here, and that's the speed input from 0 to 9, and that's the time it takes to get from one colour to the next, in seconds, and seconds time 100 because we're working in integers. So that is the little table in the code in ticks, and 1 second in ticks is actually 100. So we are currently set up the minimum 0. Okay, the latest incarnation with my translucent paper propped up on bits of tape. That's actually quite a nice effect. That's the effect I'm looking for. And look, just looking at the screen on the camera, it's still look like it's washing out the camera. Hey ho. Anyway, so that is on minimum speed and long way around. You see that's changing quite nicely and smoothly. So I will nip over to the computer and switch it to fastest possible speed. That's the one. Stop. There we go, and that's sort of going around quite nicely. I think that's about as fast as we want to go. Should we try it on the minimum? Yeah, sorry, not the minimum, the medium, middle setting. There we go, that's 4. 0 to start with, 9 second, that's 4. And compiler like things happening, and uploader like things happening, and run. Well, we can tweak it. That does seem a little fast for the middle, does it? I don't know, we'll tweak it. I'll spend some time comparing them and tweak it, but I think we can call that done for the random. So now let's move on to okay, next rainbow. Let's have a look at the rainbow effect. So okay, so we need to tell it to just do the rainbow effect only, and okay, stop, run, debug. Okay, so here it is with yeah, ever more complicated baking paper arrangements to stop the LEDs bleaching out the camera, and it's getting better, kind of works, well, it depends which way. If you go from red to green to blue, I guess it's going that way, is it? So that one's green going to blue. Yeah, it's going that way. I'm quite happy with it. The only thing I think I'll do is make the speed variable. So we've got something, some parameter we can fiddle with it. Because there's not a lot you can do with it. Why? I could change the angle, but why? So I will do a little bit of coding and we'll have a look at what we've got. Right, the speed of the rainbow is controlled by an increment value, which now is a table. You can see that there, and the table is there, and the table was 2418 hex, and I have calculated the table to be a sort of exponential increase in speed. So hang on, where is it? Here we go. That's it. So 3 is about where it was, and the minimum is about half that, and the maximum is about what, 6 times that? Is that right? No, 3 times that. So let's see how that does. Okay, firstly we will stick it to 3 and we should get pretty much what we had. So let's have a look. Okay, so there we can see it changing at quite a nice gentle rate. So now I will set it to its minimum speed, and we'll see how that goes. There we go. Is that doing anything? Can we see that changing? I think we can. Have a look at this one. It's going through turquoise towards blue. Yeah, I think that'll do about right for a slowest speed. Let's now try a fastest speed. There we go. Don't know, might decide could do with going faster than that, but I think for now we're just going to leave it and see how it goes. So let's move on to the next mode. Right, so next up, the waterfall mode. Down in the pool, down in the deep pool. Up into the sunshine at the top of the waterfall, and then down the waterfall with the white spray. Down, 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 down. And back into the deep pool, and I seem to remember spending quite a long time optimizing that, so I am not sure whether changing the speed is going to be an advantage, or just say, well, that's it as it is. Anyway, I'll have a look at it and see what I can do. Okay, so what I've done is I've decided we're going to have an energy parameter which controls the amount of time it spends sitting in the pool at the bottom. So if the energy is high, that will be short, and it will spend more time actually going up and down the waterfall. And if the energy is low, that is long, and we spend more time just sitting in the pool with a nice ripply blue effect. And that is again looked up from a table. Now, it used to be randomly calculated according to that from 10 seconds to 20 seconds, so I have gone for a table that goes from 50 seconds for minimum energy to 5 seconds for maximum energy, again in an exponential curve. So we've got that set to maximum energy, so let's see what it looks like. Okay, up we go, up the waterfall into the sunshine, down through the spray and the foam, and back to the pool, and for a few seconds back up into the sunshine. Right, so let's try it on minimum energy, maximum time in the pool. Okay, up we go. Down the waterfall and all the spray, and down into the pool, and we sit here for a little while now. Rum-ti-tum-ti-tum, with all those nice gentle ripples in the pool. Gotta make exciting videos. Bound to go viral, this one. But hey, very relaxing. Get on with it. Oh, there we go, back up into the sunshine. Okay, well, I think we're going to go with that for now and move on to the next mood. Okay, this is the original, which has some, it's a beach, so we got some sand, we got some sea. You can see sort of waves breaking on the shore occasionally, and at the top you've got some sky, but because it's the sand is like that, it only actually looks anything like from this angle. So should we try doing it looking out where you're looking out from sea? So you've got sea around the bottom, sand around the middle, and sky at the top. Let's give that a whirl. Okay, I think that'll do us. What am I going to do with that to change it? I might add energy and just have more waves coming in. Should we try that? And there's one down here, let's see, and I think it should be sand, but I'll sort that one out. Okay, we want all the sea LEDs to produce waves at slightly random times, not all together. So here is what it did do, this commented out line, and it was between, I think, 10 and 20 seconds. Oh, 5 and 10 seconds. So what we have now, we look up the minimum from a table, which is similar sort of way to the tables we've done for speeds for the previous moods, and the maximum is just 1.5 times the minimum, and we get our start time in the range and off we go. So shall we try it first at maximum speed, maximum speed will be maximum energy, so we'll set that to 9. Okay, here we are, maximum energy. Can we see we're looking at these ones around the bottom, and yes, there are plenty of waves coming in, so we'll try by comparison minimum energy. So we set the energy number back to 0. And here we go. Lots of deep blue sea. And those LEDs seem to be sitting there at a static blue. So they really ought to sort of gently change colour very slightly. However, I am not going to do that now. Oh, there we go. Right, that's okay, and they're starting to sink, unfortunately, so it takes them a bit to get out of sync again. I might flag that up as something to look at, but I think we are going to go with that for now for the beach mood and move on to the next one. Okay, so here's our fire mood, and what is happening is you get a flicker, a flame, which is the sort of yellowy white colour, which flickers up, flickers down. Should we just watch that one? And then flickers down and goes to red, orangey red, and that's a glow. and I think we will have again an energy parameter which will vary the length of the glow. So let's have a look at the code. Okay, so the flicker up, the flicker down and the glow times are all random. So these are the ones which are currently set to 150 and 300, which is 1.5 to 3 seconds. So we're going to vary that between, and maybe a bit faster than that, to a few times slower, in exactly the same way we did the waves in the beach. So I will get on and code that and we'll have a look. So again, here we're taking the glow phase time from a range, and the range is the minimum amounts looked up from the table and the maximum amounts, or 1.5 times that. And also, just to add a little more energy control, as it were. So here we're in the glow and we've started a new flame, so it's in the range between flame brightness min and a value set from the energy, and obviously you get more bright flames the more energetic it is. So shall we have a look at that with a sort of medium number, which should be somewhere similar to what we had before. Okay, so here's with it all set, probably about as it was before we started tinkering with it. All nice. So we will now compare that. We'll compare it with the most energetic setting. Yep, I think we will go with that for now. And shall we have a look, see what the least energetic setting looks like? So yes, a long pause and then they all go at the same once. I might do something about that. Stagger the start. It's only at the very start that's likely to happen. I think that's a lot less in it, a lot more restful. Yes, I think we could doze off in front of that fire. Okay, so onward and upward. What's next on the menu? And next up it's the woodland, and very simple and sort of very relaxed, restful, calm sort of mood. There's the green ones for leaves, there's blue ones for, I don't know, sky or stream or whatever, and there's brown ones for trees or last year's leaves or whatever, and they sort of fade in and fade out and change. So I think I am going to put some speed on this. You can't see it, can you? There's the sunlight, well not the sunlight, the daylight's reflecting off the paper anyway. Seems a shame putting the blind down on what daylight we have. So I shall add a speed variation to that, and we'll come back and see what it does. Okay, so here we are with our presettable speed, and this is going about the speed it used to, possibly a little slower. So shall we speed it up to maximum speed and see what it does then? Okay, still not hugely fast, but we don't. This is supposed to be a very, very restful one. And okay, should we try it at the slowest? notice the sort of jerky way the levels of the lights comes up. That's because they're running dim, so they're running like as low as 32 maximum brightness, so you've only got 32 levels, and if it's going up like 3% suddenly, you notice the sudden change of level. So I might have a think, see if I can do anything about that. However, that's basically doing what we want it to do. Oh, well, there we go. I think I'm going to end this video here. Was hoping to get it all with these guys doing their thing, but again, there's enough of this video just going through the existing moods and giving them some variation, some parameter, and I haven't started writing the new moods or say integrating these. So what was going to be one quick video has already turned into two longish ones. So what I've decided I think I'm going to do is update this and get it working to how I want it with all these over the course of the year for next Christmas. And we'll dip into it now and again when the fancy takes us, because it's easy to set up. There's just this and a wire, and just throw it down on the desk anytime and do some work on it. So that is it for this video. Doing all this work, and Angela looked at it the other day and said, "That's different to what it was the other day, isn't it?" And I said, "Yes, it does quite a few different things." So putting all this work into all this fancy stuff, and the person who sees it running the most hadn't realised it actually changes mood. However, we shall press on. We know it doesn't, and we will be pleased with how it works in the end, I'm sure. So enough of me rambling on. I'll get to trying to chop this, what's a long video currently, down to a sensible length video, and we will get on to something else. So for now, it is a goodbye from Triplicate. Went to see this yesterday evening at York Minster. Kinda puts our little project into perspective. Goodbye.